being introduced by a Global Peace Fellow is a major honor and a privilege, and I'm really humbled to be here to share some thoughts on the track on environmental conservation. We listened to a very inspirational morning session where we listened to several speeches of people who were really truly inspirational. And I feel that we are all in the right place at the right time with the right people. And I would like to repeat that. We are at the right place at the right time with the right people. And this is important because we have 8 billion people on this planet, but we know that actually this whole issue of environmental conservation is something which is very closely related to peace building. That is because we cannot look at environmental conservation without looking into conflicts and without actually touching the hearts of people. So we have the ambassador from Mongolia who told us about 1 billion trees which he's planting, which the people are planting. May I request Ambassador to kindly, please stand up so that everybody can see him. In Mongolia, 1 billion trees are getting planted. And I think we are actually seeing the saplings being given. We saw the Rudraksha saplings being given today morning. And I think this is all important because environmental conservation is so important, climate change is so important, climate change is at our doorstep. We see glacier melting, we see sea level rise, we see global warming, we see the El Nino effect, we see the environmental degradation, the mining and quarrying, and the way in which we are actually depleting our resources, whether it is timber in the forests or even cutting trees. And we are also mining and quarrying and removing the resources which we have. And sustainable development was defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So we have the younger generation sitting there, and I think it is very important for all of us to understand that it is a legacy which we are passing on to the next generation. And that is possible only through peace building, through conflict resolution, and through environmental conservation. So I'm very happy that we have people from many countries present here. We have people from Korea, we have people from India, people from Indonesia, we have people from Nepal, we have people from Kenya, Africa, and also many others who actually are watching this online. And it is very important that all these thought leaders who are here, which is a part of the C20 mission, where we say that the motto is, "You are the light." Ambassador Vijay Nambiar mentioned that. Each one of us has to be the light which can remove the darkness around us. So G20 is an intergovernmental platform. As many of you know, please look into g20.org, the website, which talks about several platforms. We have Y20 for youth, we have W20 for women, we have S20 for science, we have startups, Startup 20, we have Urban 20, we have the Think Tank 20, T20, and so on. And we also have the C20, which is Civil Society Platform. And the Civil Society Platform is headed by Her Holiness Mada Amridandamayi Devi, popularly known as Amma, whose message you listen to. And Amma says that it is very important for all of us to devote our life to seva, to service. And we have a working group. On behalf of all the coordinators of the working group, like Dr. Vikrant Tomar, Mr. Santosh, and all the others who are here and who are also participating in several events in many locations around the world in hybrid format, some of it virtually and some of it online. Actually, Dr. Tomar has just come back from a tour where he addressed hundreds and thousands of people around many countries on Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. And Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, we are one family, is very important. I would like to just mention that global peace is not just a dream. Global peace is not just an aspiration. Global peace can become a reality if we can look at nuclear non-proliferation, look at disarmamentation, look at phasing out defense expenditure, as Dr. Tomar mentioned, because we are spending our money on a lot of defense expenditure when we should be actually looking at the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. we should be looking at no poverty. And reducing poverty is possible, eliminating poverty is possible if we are able to think about many of the things which we can actually do together. We listen to some of the innovations which people have been talking about, the young generation is talking about, in health, in energy. Many startups are coming up with many solutions. So I would like to just mention one thing, that it is very important for us to look at water security, energy security, food security, and for conservation, these are very important. Food security, water security, and energy security. If we can look at solar panels, if we can look at wind energy, if we can look at electric vehicles, which we are seeing more and more, if we can look at hydrogen charged vehicles, and we look at conserving water through rainwater harvesting, roof water harvesting in every building which is getting built. We also need to look at disability inclusive efforts in social development. And I feel that much more than structural engineering, civil engineering, and geotechnical engineering, it is very important for us to look at social engineering. And the thought leaders are here who are inspiring us, and I feel that we should actually take it forward. And it was mentioned by Swami Chidananda that we should actually go beyond G20 and look at G all. And G all means that all countries in the world should actually become part of a platform. And, and civil society organizations also need support from all of us. And I would call upon all of you to become volunteers, to see whatever you can do. And Amma has mentioned in one of her speeches that if you can devote half an hour every day to support the people, an extra half an hour every day to support for the sake of those who are suffering, and this is her request. Half an hour every day. I'm now 66-year-old, and when I look at my life, I feel that if I have slept 8 hours a day, I would have spent 22 years of my life sleeping. 8 hours a day, I would have spent 22 years of my life sleeping. I have been working in the field of disaster risk reduction, climate change adaptation, public policy analysis, and I feel that all of us, if we feel that we all have a role to play to address many of the problems which we're seeing, please do not look at other people coming up with solutions. Please do not blame the governments. Please do not blame the corporates. Please do not blame the civil society. Can we do whatever we can to improve the quality of lives of the people around us? And I think that is something which is very important. I'm very happy to be here with the Global Peace Foundation and with the people who are here. The preamble of UNESCO mentions that since war is born from the mind of human beings, it is in the mind of human beings that we must erect the castle of peace. And the castle of peace can be built by each one of us who is here if you can commit to peace building. If the youth can commit to peace building, and we have 600 million people, as Dr. Rai mentioned, 600 million people who are young in India. And there are many people who are young at heart. So if all the people who are young, as well as those who are young at heart, can work together, I would call upon all of you to really try and see if we can actually contribute for improving the life of people on this planet Earth. And we also had one of the recommendations which said that there should not be any more hydroelectric projects. We should not be building dams. We should be also looking at solutions which are eco-friendly. We should be looking at conserving water. We should be looking at conserving energy. And we need to really look at solutions which are eco-friendly and which are citizen-friendly. I would also like to make a request through the Delhi Declaration, which is going to be read out very soon by Dr. Rai. I would like to make a request to all heads of states to support civil society organizations, because it is employment which needs to be created, poverty needs to be eradicated, malnutrition needs to be corrected, and we need to also look at many of the other problems which are actually facing humanity today. Sustainable Development Goals, Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, and the new urban agenda of UN Habitat. These are all 4 global frameworks which have the period from 2015 to 2030, and we only have 7 more years. And I think that in our lifetime, if there is something which we need to do, we need to put all our hearts together for environmental conservation, for addressing climate change, for addressing disaster risk reduction, and also for addressing sustainable development goals. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.